love with an Epson color printer. Um, Sexuality has nothing to do with vision and your ability to analyze sociology and psychology of certain groups of people. That's number one. But black men, let's have a honest conversation about what this infatuation and what this thing is. About when y'all get rich and successful and y'all go off with white women, and then the intersection of getting white women and getting young white women. Let me start out by saying, when this Shannon Sharp stuff dropped, uh, I even said it on my show a few episodes back that there was going to be no world where I was going to pay any attention to this, that I was blindly supporting Shannon Sharp, that I found it odd that he was a $100 million podcast deal, and now Tony Busby with his ambulance chasing ass is now trying to get 50 million of it, especially considering the fact that Tony Busby filed that faulty ass lawsuit against Jay-Z that ultimately had to be dropped. From a visceral place, I was like, you know what? This is a bunch of bogus BS, and I'm not paying attention to any of it. Today, I had the luxury of having nothing to do, so I'm sitting around the house cleaning up, and intermittently, I'm reading on the internet, just looking at articles, and I'm starting to delve into this Shannon Sharp thing even more. And there was one thing that completely made me have to get on this internet and walk back my support of Shannon Sharp, and it was that young girl's
Disgusting.
the fact that a 56-year-old man walked through the gym and walked out with a 19-year-old phone number, that's problematic as well. All right, and honestly, truthfully, that's where the story starts and stops. We ain't even got to get into the nuance and the intersectionality of all the other things that I'm about to talk about post this sentiment or whatever, but that's where the story starts and stops. And it was that with no other detail when I said I can't blindly support Shannon Sharp and I can't hold my brother's hand walking them through this because I don't have
Well,
the
he ain't my
emotional
brother.
mental bandwidth to hold your hand through stupidity. We're not even going to get into the racial dynamic. As a 50-plus-year-old man, you didn't have the foresight to see how you engaging with a 19-year-old child is going to turn out bad. And then not to mention, as you read the articles, in the court documents, they are described as being a 2-year rocky relationship. That don't sound nasty, you know? That don't sound awful, you know? My uncles, my aunts, my grandparents. Let's just tell the truth about the situation.
Let's do it.
In what world does your 19-year-old family member come home from college, y'all are having a Easter dinner, and she walks through the door with her 56-year-old boyfriend, and everybody welcomes him with open arms? Anybody saying that their 19-year-old family member walk through the door with a 50-year-old man, and the family is just going to say, happy birthday,
Disgusting.
you're lying.
Yep.
So what makes
I
this
know my
situation
family would be
worse?
like, what the hell is this? Maybe
Proximity
they
to
would
power,
ask, does he have money?
access to power, right?
Mm,
That's what makes this okay for certain families, right?
yeah,
That aside,
it's
I
horrible.
want to talk about the dichotomy of the parents. I want to talk about the psychology of the men who are partaking in this type of thing. When you add,
Okay, I don't really want to get into all that, but I did want to post, I posted Tasha's take on it because I was so frustrated with other YouTubers talking about it, seeing how she was talking slow and blaming her for not having common sense. She's 19. She's 21 maybe now because it's been 2 years since they had this relationship. He talks to her on the audio like a dog. Sit here, go to the bed, entering without protection when she asks for it. I don't care if she's a OnlyFans girl, if she was in for a sugar daddy. Nobody deserves to get treated the way he was treating her or talking to her just because he had money and power. And every other YouTube. I was so disappointed in a lawyer that broke this down. I think I watched her video for like 2 minutes, and I could tell she was already on like, oh, this is a dumb young girl. Another lady, I'm not going to say her name because I actually really enjoy her channel. I was thinking she was going to call him out. Nope. She was like, Is she slow? Is she? I'm like, what? And one of the YouTuber claimed to be a victim, but yet still blame the girl for either staying in it, getting into it, or whatever the case may be. And if you know my story, you know I was sexually molested for years, my dad. And even in my own marriage, we had to have safe words, and I had to have times that he would have to be okay with me not wanting to be touched at all. I thought that being married would make me feel like I was safe enough. I'm actually gonna turn over the camera. Um, I remember thinking that, the church tells us to forgive. Like, so I thought, when I moved to Florida, I thought, well, if he forgave me for putting him through courts and all the embarrassment that we both had to go through, then, maybe by being around him would help me heal. Like, I've been purposely putting myself in different situations, pushing myself, hey, pushing myself to force some type of healing. Because counseling only took me so far. Then I felt like, okay, what's the next stage of healing? I thought maybe confronting him, maybe having him go to the church and confessing to my pastor. My pastor at that time would have been very gentle, Pastor Danny in Florida. He would have been very gentle, he would have guided us. And just being around him triggered memories and flashes, especially when I would see certain smiles and the way that he said certain things. And although I wasn't that 8-year-old little scared girl that didn't know that was getting abused, I didn't know that it wasn't normal. It felt weird. It felt different. But being sexually abused or molested or raped, and I don't care if YouTube don't like it, like, I don't get paid for this. Going through those experiences, you don't know how you heal. You don't know how, what the process is, and when you're going to be scared and when you're going to hesitate. When you're dealing with, he seems to be like a narcissist type of person where he presents to the world in a certain way, and then behind the scene he's a monster. Usually with people that have desires to be with younger people, and you know, you're not usually the first one. And trying to track my story, I automatically found out by default that my mom might have been his first victim. I don't believe so. I believe somebody else in the family might have been his first victim, just because we had, my grandma had 14, 15 kids. So there was a lot of girls, a lot of boys, maybe cousins, I don't know. But my mom was 8, he was 18. When he started with me, I was 8. And it was so triggering to hear YouTubers, one claiming that she was a victim, saying like, oh, she sounds slow, making fun of the way she's speaking. This man traumatized her. It's so obvious to me, and I'm not even in that situation. She's scared to talk. So yeah, it might take her 2 minutes to form a sentence. She's scared. She's walking on eggshells. Because anything she says, he even told her, yeah, I might choke you in public. She's like, well, yeah, maybe it's better if we do go out so that way, because I don't feel like being choked. You have no choice in the matter. I might choke you in public. Like, what? And I don't know her backstory. I don't know why she's on OnlyFans or Instagram model or whatever she's doing. But that's not an excuse to not see her as a victim. You can be a prostitute and still be raped. You can be in a marriage and still get done like that. So between Tasha and Funky Dineva, I'm like glad I felt like I was going crazy. I'm like, what? Even a lawyer is siding with like, oh, she should. A lot of people are making, oh, she should have just taken the 10. I would have taken, you're broke ass. Yes, I'm broke too. Don't get me wrong, I'm broke too. But really, I would do, you don't know what you would do if the fear of God is put in you. Like my dad didn't have to tell me that he would kill me or that he would take me out with his gun that was in my closet for me to understand that once I started feeling like, okay, this is not normal, because he only does this when my stepmom leaves. Like she would get mad at him and go to Connecticut and stay with her brother. And then when my sister was born, she would take her daughter. I wasn't her daughter, so she would leave me. And then it would start up again. So like the second or third time, I was like, why do you only want to cuddle when, that's what he used to call it. Let's cuddle. I don't want to sleep by myself. He would tap on the bed. Let's cuddle. And one day when I saw him, now I know it was masturbating, but then I didn't know what he was doing. He was on top of me. Sorry, trigger warning, trigger warning. He was on top of me, and he was trying to go under my butt so he wouldn't go in anywhere. And he ended up coming, and I felt the wetness on my butt. I was like, oh my God, what is that? I thought, I was thinking that maybe out of like being cold and confused that I peed on myself. I thought I peed on the bed. He was like, oh no, no, it's just milk. It's just milk. I spilled milk. And I was like, huh? At this time I was 9. By that time, I was 9 when he did that. And the whole, he brought that up in court. His lawyer asked my representative to get tested. Now, mind you, he never penetrated, so what were they testing? Of course, I was still a virgin. You can't test when somebody kisses or sucks anything. There's no way to test that. He did everything else but that. And he never had to tell me that he would take me out. After the milk incident, he whispered in my ear after he took all the sheets, put in the wash, wiped the mattress. He was like, oh, you know, when you get home from school, it'll be dry, put new sheets on the bed. I was like, okay. And, but that was one of the things that his lawyer used against me to claim that I was lying because I was still a virgin. And I don't know what they thought that they would find 3 years later after that happened, when I finally told and asked to be taken out of the house. What? They weren't going to find sperm. It's not like he was doing that every day, or he basically had them. He requested a test, or they did a test. I don't know if I think it's procedure. But even then, like, I called, or I told one of my friends that I knew that she would tell the cops, and then the cops would tell whoever needed to be told. And so when DSHS or whatever, the people came, the caseworkers came, it was like 2 weeks later that my stepmom dropped me off at the office. I wasn't eating. I was scared to come out of my room. If you know the story, you know the story. But they didn't do the test right away. Even, like, let's say he did it the night before, the evidence would have been gone. Now that I've watched enough CSI and what's it called, the Special Victims Unit, I'm like, wow. So even if he did that the night of, let's say he did that 2 nights before the caseworkers came, they should have brought a female, or they should have brought me to the hospital and had the kid done. But it was 2 men, and they left me there. He came back, claimed that he didn't live there, whatever. They made him leave. I said, he's gonna come back and kill me. He has a gun in my closet. He's gonna come back and kill me. They didn't even bother calling the police to check if there was a gun. They believed, they didn't see how scared I was sitting at that table with my dad's face getting red as a tomato. My stepmom looking confused, like, what? There's no way I could have ever told her. She would have just told him, and then this whole thing is so triggering. It's like, And I'm sorry if I'm triggering somebody else. But it's like really sad that even if you are so-called a big, not so-called. I'll just say that about that one YouTube that said that she was a victim. Yet she was making fun of the girl for going along with it, for not taking the money, for staying so long. It's like, what? You don't know what happened to her? Because my dad's situation wasn't the only incident. Like, it just seems to follow me. I'm almost scared to be around. I told my last boyfriend, I said, if I'm ever at a family reunion, don't ever leave me alone with men. I don't care if it's your dad, your uncle, like, I don't know, something might trigger me, or I don't know. I don't, I know I'm not the most beautiful girl in the world, but there seems to be like some kind of curse because even my birth mom's husband, he didn't come on to me. One day when she was gone, she went to Barcelona to do something, I don't know. We were in, oh my God, Puigcerdon. It's in Spain. Anyways, long story short, I went out there to meet my mom's side of the family and re-meet with her. We were separated. I was 6 when I last saw her, maybe 7. And this time I was 21, 22. So, um, but yeah, one day we're just watching TV. My little sister, she was 12, me and her boyfriend. And, he's on the couch. Me and my sister are like hugging, watching a funny show or something like that. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed." Now they didn't have TVs in all the rooms like I do. I would have went into my room and um, and just watched TV once my sister left because it was very uncomfortable. Like, and sometimes I feel horrible because I'm like, it's in my head. It's in my head. It's not real. And I try to talk myself out of the uncomfortable feeling. And then he says, "Oh, I have movies in my room. I can bring them out." And I'm like, oh, I'm thinking like, I'm trying to like calm my head and my thoughts down. And I'm thinking that maybe it's like comedy or old school novelas. I'm Dominican, so we're into novelas a lot. No, this asshole says, "Oh, it's porn." I'm like, what? Because I'm thinking maybe I heard him wrong because he did have like Spaniard people have a very thick accent. So I'm like, huh? What? This motherfucker used the same excuse that my dad used. By this time, my mom she braided my hair down to my butt, and she had the same type of braids. And in Spain, from behind, people were like, "Oh, nothing." They thought I was her. We used to, maybe when I was thinner, we used to look alike. We used to talk alike in Spanish a little bit. And we even smoked the same. It was weird. Like, my aunt was like, "Oh my God, you guys drive me crazy. You don't inhale. You hold the cigarettes the same way." So when my dad confessed to the one person that he did confess to was my aunt in Spain that I ended up staying with the rest of the time I was in Spain. And that was one of his excuses that, "Oh, one day I was just drunk and she looked so much like her mom. And her boyfriend, I could tell that he was drinking. Maybe he was drinking in his room, because I never saw him with a drink, but his eyes would be glazed and red at times out of nowhere. And it's like, when do you get drunk? Like, I had a box of Baileys for after, anyways, yeah. So I would bring my Baileys out and share, but he didn't share his wine. But yeah, I was like, I was really trying, because even the first night that I met him, he was just weird. Some people just have that weird vibe. But I also know that I have an uncomfortableness with men, older men sometimes, because of what I've been through. So, not all men. Like, I didn't feel uncomfortable with my friend Stanford, with my kid's godfather. Sorry, my nose is itching, like allergies. I don't feel uncomfortable with either one of the kid's mentor. I didn't feel uncomfortable with my ex or my ex-husband or the kids with my oldest son's dad and his brother. So it's not all men. It's some men. And maybe my spirit can tell the pervs from the non-pervs. I definitely didn't feel uncomfortable with my ex, his dad. He was like, I was very comfortable. So I'm starting to feel like maybe I just have, like, you know how you say you have a gaydar? I just have a perk guard. I don't know. So I felt very uncomfortable from the first day I met this man. But we were in his house. My mom let it be known that, oh, I don't know nothing about name brands or good furniture. Like, you could show me this wood and that wood. If they look the same to me, I'm gonna get the cheaper one. Like, but she was the opposite of me. Like, she would, she was very, like, focused on, oh, I want people to know I have the best and this and that. So she ended up selling her flat up there. They call it flat. It's like a condo or a duplex or whatever. And moving in with him right before I came, so I would see a better side of Spain. Like, I would have been so much more comfortable in her place. And so I was mad about that, because I was like, why would you think I would be more comfortable with the men that I don't know? Like, that's stupid. But either way, so, but I really, really tried, because I was like, okay, my mom asked me to be nice, and he's a good guy. He was my little sister's stepdad for years. She actually believed that that was her real dad for a long time. So I was like, okay. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm here for 3 months. I'm not going to be rude to the guy. I'm staying with you guys. But that comment, do you want to watch P with me? Like, what? Oh, I wanted to punch him so bad. I wanted to punch him. I swear if I was a hammer girl then, I probably would have hammered his head in. And I would have went to Spain jail. I would have went to jail in Spain for murder, because I, I, I was in shock. I was like, the balls. And when I walked away cussing him out in English, because I forgot that he didn't understand English. Unfortunately, I woke up my little sister, and I told her straight away, like, does he ask you to watch P? Because he just asked me. Like, that's disgusting. What the fuck? He better not be touching you. I get real overprotected over my sisters and my brothers and stuff. And she's like, no, no. So when my mom came back, 3 days later, I just would, when my sister went to school, I would go hang out with my aunt all day at her house. Luckily, she was right down the street, like 2 blocks down the street. So, and plus she cooked really good Dominican food. My mom, for some reason, did not want to cook Dominican food at all. She was doing everything in her power to make me uncomfortable because she thought I came to stay. And I was like, I'm having a baby. I gotta go back. I came on a visa, and somebody had to write a letter so I could get permission. And the person would go to jail if I don't get back to the US. Like, I'm not here to stay. Like, why would you think that? But I don't know. At that time, I didn't know she was bipolar. I mean, not bipolar. She probably had that too, but she was schizophrenic and she was off her meds. So I wish I would have known that because I would have had a lot more patience with her. I would have looked it up and learned all I can learn before going there and brought paperwork with me so I could read and maybe, I don't know, some exercise, what would help when you are dealing with somebody that's going through a episode or off their meds. I would have asked my doctor. I would have done my research. I had a year and a half of paperwork and back and forth to get ready for this. So I would have been more prepared. But nobody says anything because they claim they're trying to protect somebody's privacy, but they don't know in the harm that they could be putting you into by not telling you. I would have just prepared. I wouldn't have judged her. But I understand my aunt didn't know me. And man, my nose is super itchy. Um, but yeah, so, and there's been a couple of times that I've said no in relationships and it still happens. So I, you know, there was a time that I would deflect in my 20s and 30s. I would be like, well, my pee must be that good. Not with my dad or with the stepdad, but like in the relationships that, it's like I would basically kind of tell myself, like the commercial, once you start, you can stop. What is it, Pringles or what was the commercial? It was either Pringles or M&M's that once you have one, you can't stop. So I would tell myself, like, maybe it's that. Maybe it's so good that they just get lost in it. But no, now looking at the whole picture, I don't know what I did to land in this position. And I'll ha- I would have to question every male that's older than me that comes in my life first before I can trust them and know that they're not perverted, they're not looking at me like that, or they're not looking at my kids like that. That's another thing that it affects when you have kids. Like I was just telling one of my friends, when I first had my oldest son, I was like, I was really struggling the first month whenever I had to change his diaper. Because I'm like, oh my God, I would apologize. I would apologize to him so much. Like, oh my God, I gotta move your pee-pee to clean it, and I'm so sorry. And you shouldn't have to feel that way. As a first time mom, I didn't even get to enjoy just being a mom because I was so worried, like, that he felt some type of way because I was so messed up in my head. And seeing the shit and shot thing, and so many people blaming the girl, and we're talking about how slow she talks. I know that feeling of not knowing what to say because it's like if you talk, you're talking too much, or you sound weird, or you sound crazy. And then if you don't talk, then it's like, what the hell? Are you a mute? I did it. It's like no matter, some people, I think I didn't find my personality until I moved to Seattle. And even though my foster parents that brought me out here brought me for their own selfish reasons, I believe that at first they really did want, or she, I say she, really wanted to do a good thing and keep her word. She did tell me if she ever got a house, she would adopt me. But then once we got to Seattle, like all of a sudden she went from two little ones to four, and it was a lot. And a non-working husband. So I I understand the pressure now that I have kids. I understand the pressure of what they might have been feeling, but at the same time, that's the one thing that I am grateful that I don't think I would have ever had that much leap of faith and moved all the way to Seattle or to Washington or to the West Coast. Not maybe not until I was in my 30s or 40s, maybe. But not knowing anybody, maybe not. So that's one of the good things that I was able to be happy in high school. I just remember feeling so free and so happy to finally learn how to be me, whether I was flirtatious or like talkative or funny or not. That's who that was me. Until then, I didn't know who the I was because every foster parent that I went to, I had to adjust to their personality, their routine, their the kids that were there. I had to adjust to whatever was going on with them, if they have mental issue or needs or whatever. I just had to be everybody else, support everybody else. So I learned to just be quiet and observe and listen. And if I did get to the point that I was comfortable enough, I got comfortable enough in the first home, Miss Rodriguez, Puerto Rican couple. Um, I did open up to her a little bit, and I got comfortable in my third home, but not enough to open up, but enough to kind of let my let my personality grow a little bit. And I was super comfortable with my foster mom that brought me out here to Washington, but unfortunately, her husband changed her personality, and she became somebody I didn't know and didn't have my back. So I was back to figuring out, like I had to figure it out real quick on my own. Luckily, with programs and this and that. But I did get 2 or 3 years that I was able to be myself freshman year, sophomore year, I wasn't just surviving. I had plans, I had goals, I thought I had stability, and you know, I miss my family a lot. So when I chose to move to Florida, I went with the intention of just being around my dad, but not living with him. Like I thought my uncle agreed that he would let me stay with him. And then when I got there, which now I understand, you know, he had a lot going on, and so it would be weird to be in a big old house by myself in an area that it didn't have a lot of buses and all that stuff. And so basically we'd be in the house until he could take us somewhere, or my dad would pick us up or something. So I'm kind of glad that it worked out the way it did, but it did set my mind back 20 years, back to feeling like I had to put my guard up. I had to watch my kids back. I had to pretend to smile when I was looking at him and thinking, how could you? How could you take advantage of me for so long? Like he told my aunt that he got drunk the first time, but it happened more than once. It happened more than twice. And every time he would get more bold and do more. Anyways, I am, doing the videos, I took them down, but I did about 100 to 150 videos telling my story in order, or try to make it in order. Um, and I remember feeling like, okay, this is what healing feels like. Okay, I don't have any more flashbacks. I don't have any resentment. I don't have any bad will. I don't wish in bad things. Um, I was like, okay, it's time to let it go. Maybe this is the next phase of healing. I did counseling from 12 to whatever time. I'm still in counseling. And then I did the videos. I felt better. But it's almost like everything is a band-aid. Eventually, the wound gushes out and pushes out the band-aid. And it's like you gotta find a stronger band-aid, a better band-aid, a bigger band-aid to help you through the next stage. And I thought that if I healed myself, or if I got help healing myself with the abuse stuff, then I could just focus on other things that I want to work on as far as my character, myself. But it never ends. Because if I'm not being triggered by the sexual abuse that I went through, I'm triggered by the verbal abuse that I went through. I'm triggered by the just a lot. Abandonment issues. My mom left me when I was 18 months. Or actually, I was 15 months. My stepmom got me when I was 18 months. So for 3 months, I was roaming the street. I'm sure that my aunts and my grandma took care of me somehow. But all I know is that I have memories. People think you can't remember when you're 3 years old. I have memories of having the umbrella skirt. They broke a rainbow umbrella. I remember it was colorful. It took the wires off and made a skirt out of it because nobody was dressing me. I was walking around with my thing out, just walking around. I mean, even in my baby picture, I have a little blanket over me. I don't even have clothes on. And maybe they did that for the picture, maybe not, but and my stepmom said she found me eating worms. Maybe I was hungry, maybe because nobody was looking and something was wiggling, I just picked it up. I don't know. But it was obvious that I was abandoned and I wasn't being taken care of. I was really trying to get past the sexual part so I can start healing the abandonment issues and then I can deal with the verbal abuse. But I just gotta keep it in rotation. It's like a freaking pie graph. I have this much, a third this, a third that, and a third this. And that creates somebody that's always, I don't have low self-esteem, but I do doubt myself a lot. I remember questioning a lot of things when my kids were younger. Am I moving to the right area? I would feel bad if I had to take my kids out somewhere and it was raining and I had to use the rain cover, but I was getting wet because you can't hold an umbrella and push a stroller at the same time, especially the big ones that I had. Um, and then Johnny got too big for the stroller, so one of my care team members fixed up the granny cart that I used to, the shopping cart that I used. Um, he put big old fat wheels on it. The front wheels wiggled everywhere. So I would plop my baby in there. I had a flat board that I would put in there and a blanket. And then if he got cold, he would just use the blanket. Um, he could stand on it if we were going down the hill. He really liked that. But then I would come home and feel guilty, like, oh my God, I should have a car. Oh my gosh, I feel bad that I'm not being the best mom I could be. It just, even in having him, I remember having like an anxiety attack, like, what if I think it's too much? What if I give up on my baby? And what if I give him up? And the sad part is that a caseworker used my words against me. And instead of encouraging me that I would do good and he would be okay, she's like, well, this is a Catholic community service place, and we do have families that would love to adopt a baby and blah, blah, blah. And I felt so guilty that my relationship with my kid's dad wasn't working out. We weren't getting married like we were planning to. We couldn't even live together. He wasn't really faithful to me 100%, so I wasn't gonna stay. I wasn't gonna be one of those women. Oh, I'm staying because of the kids. Oh, I'm staying because it looks better. Like, fuck all that. I'd rather be a single mom than have a cheating husband. Like, I wasn't gonna be that. But I also felt like, dang, this wasn't the plan. And then she also used my health as a weapon. Like, well, you do have HIV and you could die anytime. And, would that be fair to the baby? Like, she would say, fuck. And because I was so in my head and in my emotions, I started to believe her because I had to meet with my caseworker at that place once a week. So every week she would just drill that in my head. The baby would be better with somebody else, a couple of people with money, people that can give him his own room, his own house, da da da, college fund, da da. But I'm glad that one thing about me is I'm stubborn. And once I shake off the bad feelings and the bad thoughts and I shake them off and I stand firm in what I want to do or what I think is best or what I'm gonna do, it's gonna get done. Like, by all means necessary, it's gonna get done. And what shook me out of that thought about feeling like I wouldn't be good enough of a mom to my oldest is that I brought the ultrasound when he was like 7 months. I was 7 months or almost 8, like really ready to pop. He would not let me see that he was a boy until like almost the time to deliver. Um, and I was so excited to show the girls. It would I lived in a house, a transitional program for moms and moms to be, and it was like 10 rooms, and I got along with about 5 or 6 of the ladies that was there. So I was so excited to wait until dinner. We rotated who cooked or whatever for the whole house. Anyways, I was so excited to pass the little sonogram and say, "It's a boy, it's a boy." And this bitch texts me in the back because we had a meeting that night scheduled. She said to me, now this is Alita Wright, and I don't care if she sues me. That bitch needs to be outed for being a fake, woke, black, this woman. Because she wears that's cheeky. She only celebrates the black holidays and blah, blah, blah. She's all black this, black that, but she hates herself. She hates herself. She hates her daughter. She hates whoever took advantage of her. It seemed like either the person that she had a baby with either abused her or art her. And that's how the baby came to be. But she said she only kept that baby because it was a girl. And then she says, if I was you, now it's too late to abort the baby. That's how she starts the conversation. After she sees the ultrasound again, and she's like, oh, with a really dried up face. That's probably why she's so ugly. Like, she's a burnt soul inside and out. She's just ugly inside and out. But she plays this black power. Oh, I wrap my hair. I have dreads. I'm so black, black. She hates herself, and hates black people too. So she tells me, I would hate to bring another black bastard boy into the world. I wanted to do more to her than when I had thoughts about my mom's boyfriend. And to this day, I can't stand her for saying that. I wish I would have recorded her. Because even though I couldn't use it in court, then, people think I'm crazy or making up shit. Because I asked all the girls that I still talk to that lived in the house with me or after me or whatever that I know of. and nobody got pressured to give up their baby for adoption. Some of the girls didn't even know that there was books under the couch or like by the window, or it's like a bookshelf by the wall. There was a whole bunch of books, and there was some white binders down at the floor. There was a whole bunch of families, their information, what they do, or they didn't say where they lived because they can't say that. I think they just named like the state that they lived. And she wanted to give my baby up to these older white people that live somewhere in the mountain. And all I thought is about, I didn't know that my son was going to be so big and so like muscular, and I didn't know. But I had a dream that night, the first time she mentioned this couple. And she was like, I don't know why. She said, "Oh yeah, they have horses. They have one beautiful big black horse." So I seen pictures, and come to find out, my baby loves horses. Well, he's not a baby. He's 21 now, but he loves horses, and he did end up being this big black. But all I could picture, and his nickname was Bubba when he was first born, because he was so chunky, and oh my God. He, when he was 3 months, he looked like he was 6 or 9 months. Like he was always so big and juicy and like puffy. Um, and I told her when I heard her say the black bastard comment, I said, well, you know what? I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but anybody that's doubting me, I'm gonna prove them wrong, because don't mention these people to me no more. Don't mention anything else to me about adoption no more. If that's all you want to talk about, I'll talk to Becky. Becky was the supervisor at the time. A white lady that was more black than the blackity black Lita Wright. You could tell Becky was getting dick down. She she had flavor in her and on her. But anyways, yeah, I was like, I'm gonna put in a complaint, because for you to make the comment that you just made, and you know that I don't have anywhere to go, and that I can't afford to become homeless. That's the only reason I don't react the way I want to react right now. So I'm just gonna get up, and the meeting is over. And if you have an issue, you can write me up, and I'll talk to Becky about what you just said. And I wish I would have talked to the supervisor anyways, because it was so wrong. But I was just trying to put it out of my head, like, oh my God, this like one little spot right here that's like itching. Um, yeah. So I've been through a lot, and the the fun, well, not funny, but the sad part about healing is like, sometimes some people, I'm not going to say everybody, sometimes some people, one trigger can domino affect another trigger. Can bing, 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 and it can go in any order. And it's like, you gotta just stop the pinning. So right now, I know I have been depressed like since Valentine's. I felt like I haven't wanted to do anything. And my last hope to kind of shake myself out of it was getting my hair done. Then the girl, like, She thought I didn't know what the hairstyle was supposed to look like. Maybe she thinks I'd never get my hair done. And beautiful braids. If I didn't show the parts that were crazy, like the way that she just crochet here and there, and not everywhere, felt like Dr. Seuss. Here and there, not everywhere. Da-da-da. It's like I had so many bald spots, and the braids that she did were thick as hell. And then she had this thing at the bottom. It was like a bee's nest. Like, what the fuck? If I was keeping this throughout the summer, I would have flies living and making babies in there. Like, I've never been braided like that before for crochet style. Like, but I could tell she was like, oh, she don't know. I'm just gonna do whatever real quick, get my money and go. It's like, okay, so I don't like confrontation, so I didn't say nothing the first time that she braided my hair because it was just a quick little updo into a ponytail. But when I let that little ponytail loose, it looked like chicken feathers, just pew, pew. It's like, what the fuck is this? I was gonna take out the braids that were hanging and just kind of get a little more hair and wrap it around and make it into a cute ponytail. I couldn't do none of that because she had my real hair going from here to here, like connect the dots. It's like, what? I can't even do this. I couldn't even. So I didn't say nothing the first time because I was like, okay, she doesn't charge as much as other people would. And I know she was having really bad back pain. So I felt really bad having her working when her baby was screaming and she was having pains and stuff. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just keep it in for a month, and then if I can keep it in for a month, then I'll keep it in at least for 2 weeks. 'Cause to go through all that, and she braids hella tight, makes you feel like you could see your brains breathing. Like it takes about 4 Tylenols to get rid of that headache when she's done braiding. And I told her, I said, I don't keep hair that long. Like, I'm not the type of person that does their hair and keep it in for like 2, 3 months. I think that's disgusting. Like, your hair needs to breathe. That's why people get, like, people have bald spots here and their hair thin or like doesn't grow. Your hair needs to breathe. Like, I'm the type of person that want to rinse out my hair every day, wash every week at least. In the summertime, I might wash every day with shampoo and conditioner. Like, uh-uh. So to not be able to scratch and like really wash my hair for 2 weeks, I don't care if I pay $300 for braids. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people do it. And then if you go somewhere for vacation or whatever and you sweat, nah. Once the vacation is over, that hair has to come out. Let me wash it real good. Let it air dry. Pick it out. Let it air dry. And then oil it, wrap it up, put it in a little bun or 3 or 4 buns to separate it so it can breathe, so the scalp can breathe and the oil can get absorbed and your hair can grow. I was like, even if she did do a good job, I was gonna tell her the next time, please don't braid that tight. Like, I'm not keeping the hair. I'm only keeping the hair for 2, 3 weeks. Like, I don't keep hairstyles like that, especially when it has fake hair on top of it, because your hair is suffocating and it's gonna die. But yeah, so that was my last attempt. That money, I really needed it for like groceries and other stuff. But I was like, you know what? I always make excuses for myself. I got this hair. I was supposed to get this hairstyle done for my birthday. Let me just go for it. And that was the most disappointing part, is that she knows that I would be like, okay, I gotta get my son's hair done and my hair done. So most of the time his hair wins because he's go to school and this and that, and I can do a little something with mine. And then he also has to have like face treatments now. So yeah, I'm a single mom. I don't have it. So I have to make sure he's taken care of. This time I was like, fuck we got food. We'll just use what we got. And I'm going to force this into the budget. And I forced it. And then she fucks me over like that. I was like, now one thing she did say, 7 packs is not enough. Da, da, da. So I was like, okay, I'll order one more pack, which will bring 7 more. She's like, no, I got hair. I'll bring. And I didn't even see the hair. She claimed she had hair. She's like, I didn't even know it was that color, like that type of burgundy. I said, I send you the screenshot. I even shared the link of the Amazon so you could swipe and look. She said she was bringing 8 pack of black hair so she could use what she. And I was like, yeah, okay, just put it like in the back, because I want mainly like the burgundy showing. She agreed. She brings some gold, like 2 little strands of gold hair, and then some leftover stray hair to pack in my hair while she's braiding. But then when I was taking out the braids, I found like little strands of my own, the burgundy hair. I was like, why is she putting one little strand of. I didn't get it. I've gotten crochet hair done at least 10 times. At least. That's my favorite because it's just quick. It's quicker than getting single braids. And weaves and all that stuff. It's too much updo and upkeep. I like to wake up and go. Like get ready, shower, and go. You know, with the crochet hair, it's just ready. You take it out the rag or the wrap, and it's ready to go. You don't have to do too much. Maybe the front little hairs, and that's it. But yeah, I was so disappointed. So then that sent me deeper into a depression, because it's like, goddamn, even when I try to do something for myself, it just doesn't work out. So it just feels like sometimes, off and on, I go through these loops of feeling like I'm going through a lot of bad luck. And then on top of that, I have to worry about male energy, how they come across. Do you like? I'm very sensitive to energies. That's why I didn't like my foster dad. Even the first day, he didn't do nothing to me. I felt uncomfortable. It's not that I didn't like him right away. I felt uncomfortable. I couldn't tell why. I just felt uncomfortable. He wasn't a perv. It's not like that. But I could tell he wasn't a really good person. Not to everybody. He picks and chooses who he likes. And now he's a pastor, so. But um, he'll just pick. Like he didn't like my boyfriend in high school. No real reason. He claimed that it was because he wasn't a Christian. But I'm like, Okay, that's the only reason? Like his personality, like nothing else, just because he's not a Christian? He claimed that he didn't like the friends that I was hanging out with in high school because they weren't Christian. My best friend and my other friend that I mainly hung out with, the two girls, they were Catholic. Duh. If you were married to somebody, I mean, my foster mom is Dominican, but she's more Americanized than I am. So I don't know if she didn't explain that to him, that most Spanish people are Catholic or they're raised Catholic, and whether they choose to be Catholic as an adult is on them. But most people are raised Catholic. If you come from a Spanish home, Latin home, you are Catholic. You're just born into it. I'll say 80% of it at least. Nowadays, it's more, you know, there's more Christians in the world, so I don't know what the numbers would be now, but back then, definitely 80% at least. So, anyways, I was just trying to talk about this Shannon show. And I went into a long thing, but so I just, depression and anxiety combined are really dangerous because they can put you in this loop that you feel scared to go out. Plus, I'm perimenopausal, so I'm going through like a flex. So sometimes my clothes fit and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they are big. So I'm thinking, do I need to buy smaller clothes? And if I buy smaller clothes, then by that I'm 2 sizes bigger. So it's hard with this up and down, up and down. I don't know. But so yeah, it's hard to feel confident and go out and feel good in what you're wearing. I think I'm just gonna buy. I bought like a dress that was for like my event. It was actually for Florida. It's like red, white, and blue, and it's really comfortable. It fits me really well. So I think I'm gonna buy more dresses like that for the summer and just get tights so my legs don't rub together. Um, because I felt really comfortable in that when the girl was here. She was getting my hair done, and that day was beautiful outside. I went outside. I was able to go without a robe and without a jacket, without a sweater, and get some sun in my face and get some sun on my shoulders. But between trying to find the confidence to go back to swimming, trying to find the right things to wear, and I am gonna try again. I do have some different type of hair that I have in my closet. I had it for 2 years. I'm gonna try again, maybe for Mother's Day. I don't know, to get my hair done again by somebody else. Somebody that knows what they're doing or doesn't try to take quick short. I think she knows what she's doing because I've seen her post some of her work, and the other girls don't have zigzag parts. They don't have connecting hairs. So it's like, okay, does she think because I don't look like a fighter or an arguing person, she took advantage of me? Because I know my friends, Chaz, that's friends with her, Chastity recommended her. I know for a fact if she did either one of the two hairstyles that she did on me and how she braided, if Chastity, she would have been like, what the fuck, bitch? Like, what is this? She would have, nah, you're gonna fix this and you're gonna reimburse me some of my money because you wasted my time. But because she didn't think that she would get that from me, or I didn't know. Because she'd be like, oh, let me buy the hair next time. I just smile. I don't like confrontation. I don't like to argue. If people think that they're right, I let them think whatever they want to think. If that makes you feel better, go for it, buddy. I'm not gonna fight you on it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I know that you're wrong on that. I'm not. I don't like debating. I used to want to fight people when I had to debate in class in high school. I'm like, this is fun for people, arguing back and forth, and I was like, hell no, that ain't for me. Anyways, let me go before um, my battery dies on my phone. But if you care, you can send a little goodbye or good energy my way, say a little prayer. Um, I just been really struggling, like, even feeling like why don't I deserve love type of stuff. But when I get somebody that cares, I do push away out of fear. And I know it doesn't make sense to people that don't understand trauma and drama. But out of fear that they will walk away, I will push sometimes, but not intentionally, just like, you know, or one thing will look like something else to me. If you don't answer my text within 5 hours, I automatically think you're cheating. Like, or if something changes up in the way you are reacting or interacting with me, then I'm like, oh, I guess they don't love me anymore. And that's sad. Like, I really want to learn how to feel better about myself enough to have confidence that if somebody can't get back to me because they're working or busy or just stressed for a whole day, that I'm not automatically exiting. In my head, I already got the exit plan. Or it's not just in relationships, it's in friendships too. Like, I just be like, ah, fuck it. Like, it's too hard to guess. That's one of the reasons why I think I'd rather deal with older ladies, because girls my age, like, it's too confusing. I don't have time. Like, it's too hard for me to sit here and wonder, oh, what does that mean? Oh, wait, because people aren't straightforward. Like, if you were straightforward, yeah, you might hurt my feelings, but then you don't send me into this episode in this puzzle piece world that I fall in trying to figure shit out. Like, just, I'd rather you hurt my feelings, me cry about it for 2 minutes and get over it. And then maybe I can trust you more if you just tell me the truth. Now, if it's, you just being a dick, you just being mean for no reason, then yeah, okay, hey, you go your way, I'll go my way. But anyway, so yeah, just a lot. But like I said, one trigger leads to another, and it's like, but I'm just really shocked. I'm really, really shocked on how many people, or YouTubers, I should say, feel like this little girl is to blame. Sorry, I was looking for my. Let me get the plug so in case it's going dead, it doesn't cut off. Laughing at her, making fun of her, saying how she was dumb or she should have taken the money. 10 million? And keeping it quiet would have been nothing to him. He probably makes that, well, not probably, he probably makes that in a month actually. Because she said that one of the interviews was 56. Oh no, that's his age. I think 50 was what he made from Cat Williams' interview. So 10 million would have been nothing, especially if it was done in the dark and under the table. I'm proud of her. It takes a lot of guts to go. I didn't even have the internet against me. I can only imagine. I had my block that I used to live in against me. I had my family against me. I still have some of my family against me. They still don't believe. It's like, what would be the satisfaction in keeping this line going for 30 years? I went in foster care when I was like 11 or 12. I'm 45. So you do the math. I'm not good. I have dyslexia, so I'm not going to even try to do the math right now in my head. I would have to write it down. And for 20 years, I didn't talk to 90% of my family. Maybe they were on Facebook, but I was scared that if I came around, they would either throw that in my face or reject me. And the fact that I had to take him to court, that was nerve-wracking. I was so scared. I was scared that my uncle that was threatening me with a bullet, he said he had a bullet with my name on it. I was scared that he was gonna find me one day, because I was taking the trains and taking buses by myself. I've never done that before I went into foster care. They just they expected me to know. They showed me once, okay, this is what you do. You get off at this street, you walk this way, and that's it. No walkthrough, no nothing. Just boom, do it. You could do it. Maybe it's a good thing because it did teach me confidence a little bit. And I wasn't scared to get on any train and go anywhere. And when I got to Seattle, it was very helpful to have that skill, because I didn't know I was gonna get kicked out 2 years later, and I would have to figure myself out in the system through shelters, teen shelters, transitional housing, and getting from this job to that high school to that college. So maybe everything is a preparation for something else. Maybe that's what it is. But what the hell is this stage in my life preparing me to? Like, what is it preparing me? Oh, you can't see the other little bum-bums. I'm trying to restore it. She put so much crap in my hair that the middle of my head is so bad. So I'm trying to do different buns, different little buns to heal it with oil, and then I'm gonna blow dry it and flat iron it to see if it's somewhat. I don't know what she put in it, but I've been doing so much work to make my natural hair grow and get healthy and all that stuff. And all of a sudden, after I took all that crap out that she put in and washed my hair went. I was like, what? I don't know. So that's another lesson learned. You know, I've heard this before when I had the kids. Don't let everybody just cut your kids' hair. Don't just let anybody just cut their hair. But now I see that even with your own head, you got to be careful who touches your hair. Energy is transferred. And I don't want to sound like everybody's a hater or like I'm all that, but she did ask me because she's like, wow, your hair's grown so much since the last time I seen you. What have you been doing? So I told her, I don't remember everything I do because I do something different every week or every other week. I just see something on Facebook or not TikTok, Instagram, and I try it. Most of it has coconut oil and rosemary. It seemed to be the main two things. But I don't know. Like she said that like 2 or 3 times, and the first time I was like, "Oh, thank you." The second time I'm like, "Okay." I mean, I'll send you the links when I find the stuff. I actually post most of the things that I find that are helpful for natural remedies, whether it's for hair, skin, or whatever. I post it in the group that I have, Do It Yourself, on Facebook. So when I'll look through and see if I can find a couple of the recipes and send it to you. And then she said it again. And I know she used one of my oils, but she must have used her gel or something else because I really didn't want gel. Like, I don't need gel. You can use Vaseline to keep the the parts clear. You don't have to use gel or that gunk and ruin your hair. So next time that I go get my hair done, the lady that I'm gonna go to, she does my son's hair sometimes, and I know she does. I have to ask her to spray some coconut oil on my son's hair. She doesn't use nothing when she braids. So I know she'll braid my hair, and I'll just tell her, hey, can you spray a couple of sprays of this, the coconut oil that I like? But it's lightweight. It's not going to weigh down your hair, suffocate your hair, and all that. So, but anyways, like, comment. Thank you for the person that liked the video. That's nice to see that somebody else pressed like. I always go back and like all my videos just to have at least one like. Dang, guys. Like I be out here pouring my soul to you guys, and only a one like makes me tear up. But either way, one last message, and I promise I'll let you guys go. You are stronger than what you think, and you will get through it. You will come on the other side, or you will overcome this. Whatever it is that you're going through right now, this too shall pass. I used to hate that, but it does. It passes. You might go through something else, but you will get through it. So I'm going to push myself. I've been saying this for at least a year. Because I know that swimming for me is the answer to overcome the anxiety and obviously help my body. So I just gotta push myself over that. Just take that leap. Just jump. But I keep looking down like, oh, I can't do it. Oh my God, it's so scary. Oh, I can't do it. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna set up the rides twice next week. I'm going. I'm going. So what is your thing that you're gonna overcome this week coming up? So go from Thursday to Thursday. That's a whole week. Put it in the comment if you feel like it. Bye. Bye 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 bye.